This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Thank you, and welcome back to We'll Run For. This is your host, Tom, and with me, as always, are Erin.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hi.
Sure is good to be back. How is everybody doing?
Fantastic.
Sore.
You're sore? Okay.
It was a long race
I'm having
weekend.
a rough
Everybody
one.
raced, right?
Everybody raced.
We all raced.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we actually have something to talk about instead of just
Tom, did you
Nonsense.
race?
Wait,
Did you
I
do
didn't.
the 5
I didn't
mile?
race this week.
no, but you raced
Oh,
last
I
time.
raced last week.
Last week.
Last
week.
week, but
Yeah,
we haven't
yeah.
talked about
Yeah.
it yet.
Yeah.
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 I'm like, wait, did he race this weekend? I mean, he brought the dog with him
I don't know.
to multiple races.
One
Does that
weekend,
count?
another weekend. It's all
Yeah.
the same thing. Who the hell knows?
It's
I
true.
don't know.
Oh yeah.
They all kind of
And
bleed
then
together.
I always think of things I want to say or talk about on this podcast as like they're happening. And then by the time we actually record, I'm like, I don't know. When was that? Like 10 weeks ago?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
When it was like 10 seconds ago?
So I got a funny story. I was clipping my nails before we started.
I don't know that
And,
this is going to be
uh,
funny.
That's funny.
I feel like
And,
this isn't going to be funny.
So I was clipping my toenails, and then I went to go clip one, and it just flew off and hit the ceiling as I clipped it. the entire thing just flew off.
No, thank you.
Like you lost the toenail.
Yeah,
It's gone.
yeah, but there was
And
a
now
little
it's
one
just
under
floating
it.
around in your house.
Now it's
It's
just
in the shower
this
somewhere.
is what's going to happen again. I'm going to be like cleaning something, and all of a sudden, like I did when I was trying to clean off his like little nightstand thing, I'm going to be holding a toenail, and I'm going to like throw it across the room in disgust, and then not going to be able to find it again because I've thrown it in disgust.
It was this one. But see,
why
So
is
is he
I
holding
don't-
it?
Yes, he's showing it to me.
there's a nail in the toe.
There's
though.
no reason to be showing this to me.
Look, Erin, this is intimacy. This is what you signed up for.
Oh God. No one told me. No one told me that this was what our marriage was
Oh,
going to be
God.
like.
I don't know how to follow that up. Michael,
Yeah, I don't
Michael,
either.
Thank you for
What's,
sharing. I guess some housekeeping. This isn't really housekeeping, but I just did want to give a shout out because as of when we're recording this, it is on or around is it the 1 year pod anniversary of Rise and Run?
Yes.
1 year.
1 year.
Is it 1 year? I don't know.
It's got to be 2
Gotta be
years,
2.
right?
All right, well, 2 years.
Their podiversary.
They've already done 100 episodes, so it's got to be 2 years.
Look,
Oh,
They
yeah.
are workaholics. They could probably get it done in a year.
That's true.
That's true.
But I'm pretty sure they haven't. We haven't even gotten to our 100th episode, guys. We're only at 88.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it that way.
So
I
Sometime.
mean,
we can get there.
will we even make it to 100 before our 4-year anniversary?
I once had a podcast that took 10 years to
It's
get
true.
to 100 episodes.
It's true. And then you haven't recorded that since basically you made it to your 100
yeah, I
year.
think we made it to 101, right?
I don't remember. But we didn't look at the calendar before for the other housekeeping.
No, but I have noticed that people have been doing our Halloween challenge, which has been so cute.
yep.
Yes.
Someone had very cute Frankensteins and candy corns that made me extremely happy.
And we have a little trolling situation going on between Dawn B and EcoFit,
I love
Emily.
it. I encourage it.
Where Emily can apparently not find candy corn decorations anywhere in the world. Meanwhile, all these other people are able to find them. And so Dawn B is just tagging her in every post and picture where she finds candy corn now.
Oh yeah, because Tom was
That's
very
appropriate.
concerned. He was like, do they not like each other?" He was very
think there's something wrong between them? Do they have beef?
Yeah.
Look, I'm very concerned with the Will Run For community and maintaining the peace.
Yes. By the time you hear this, it'll be almost too late. You have today and tomorrow from when you're hearing this, the 30th and the 31st, to finish out your Will Run For scavenger hunt. Because on November 1st, I will be putting everyone into the drawing. And on November 2nd, we will pull a winner for our running prize pack.
Yeah.
So make sure you're tagging us and submitting your stuff in so that we can count for all of the things you have found.
Yeah. I haven't found anything.
And just remember, I took pictures and then I never posted them. And just remember, even if you don't fill out your entire card, you get one entry for everything you did find, and it is a random drawing. So even if you found one thing, you could still win.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah.
So
yeah, I think I need to make like an effort to go out and do it. I think it's because I haven't run in neighborhoods recently. I've either been on the track or in a race or like on the treadmill.
Yep.
yeah, last week, look, I
Yeah.
have a picture of a haunted house. I have a picture of a spider. I have a picture of a jack-o'-lantern and a skeleton. Apparently some chickens that were roaming around in the front of this person's yard.
Nope, don't like
A
that.
Frankenstein. So I did take pictures, but then I never went to the next step, like all of the rest of our listeners have.
Well, I feel like you shouldn't be able to win anyways.
Yeah.
I can't, but I figured
That'll
I'd
probably
give
be
it as
cheating.
an example.
Yeah, well, and I like to play.
I know.
It'll cut down shipping costs.
That's true.
Just ship it to myself.
Hey, Michael,
Yeah.
do we have any new 5-star reviews?
Hopefully not. I didn't look. I don't think we do. But thank you all for who have posted them in the past. And just remember to always share the show. And if you get a chance, review it. That's great. But share it with people. That's more fun.
Yeah, we love all of our existing and new listeners. All right, so what are we running for this week?
Well, I'm actually doing some running. I've gotten back on the wagon. I know last time we recorded, I was talking about how I've kind of fallen off the wagon. I wasn't doing as much as I was. So now I've gotten back into a schedule, and I've actually discovered the runs on Peloton, which I've never done before. So I bring my phone or my tablet up to the fitness center, and it's a lot like a Orange Theory run or workout because it gives you like instructions on when to walk and when to run and jog and all that stuff. And I've been doing a lot of Maddie. I love him. He did the Pride walk run, which I think a lot of people did this summer in drag. But his Halloween ones have been really fun. He's always in costume. And even the ones where he's not, I'm liking him. I know Tom's done a couple of the walks and stuff like that, but he's really the only one I've done so far. And so I'm liking that. And I've also started doing the stepper at the gym, and it's literally trying to kill me. So I don't sweat a lot. I mean, I sweat.
That'll
but
do
I
it,
don't
though.
drip sweat, and I drip sweat on
That's
that
what
machine.
we need for the elevation that we were trying to do this weekend. We need to do the stepper.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah. And I try and go like up and down on like the speed it goes, just so like it's
Oh my
doing something a
God.
little bit different. And I'm not like
So you
running.
can go faster on that
No,
thing?
I only do like I get it up to like a 6 is kind of my base, and then I'll go down to a 5 and then up to like a 7 for like a minute and just like do different things. Because
So it goes like it moves the stairs faster?
It moves the stairs faster.
Oh my God. No.
Yeah,
No.
so you can go. I mean, and it's not even like I don't know how fast it goes because I had it up to like an 8 for like 30 seconds today, and my legs were already jello from yesterday, and I did it after the run today, and I was like, I physically cannot pick my legs up this fast. So,
Was it like somebody needed to be taking a video because you're like looked like a little hamster on a little
and you're up really high. Like I literally have to kind of like climb onto this. I am
Oh yeah, they
short,
do sit
but
high.
like
Yeah,
it's high.
Oh my God.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, the steppers kind of are a lot higher than like a treadmill.
So yeah, I've decided to try and do that once, maybe twice a week, just to build some additional like strength in my legs. And I've been doing strength again, so I am back on the wagon, or at least I have been for 2 weeks. I'm gonna try and stay there.
Good for you. That's
On
awesome.
the wagon, off the wagon. I'm circling the wagon.
Nice. Well, enjoy your wagon. I am running for, at the time of the recording that we're recording, this weekend is the Ocean City Running Festival in Maryland, and I'm doing the
Yes.
half. I'm fighting every urge to drop down, but
And that urge is also coming from everyone else doing the race series
that wants him to do this
that
10K.
just wants him to go and do. Is it a 10K? I think it might
it's an
be like
8K.
an 8K.
It's an 8K.
8K? Okay.
And we're all like, you just drop down. It's fine.
And then we don't all have to wait around for
We
you.
don't have to wait
for,
around.
like-
Oh. Yeah, but I've dropped out of a lot of stuff this year. Or I've gone backwards a little bit, and
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but
There's no shame in that game.
I kind of want to do it. So we'll see.
Yeah, if you want to do it, that's different.
We'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's this weekend, and hopefully when you hear this come out, I did not die. But it will be a challenge. I'll tell you that right now.
It's not encouraging. Is he's like, I think I'm going to use every second of that 4-hour pace requirement. I was like, I swear to God, Tom, if you're out there for 4 hours,
It's supposed to be nice though. It's supposed to be like
lose it. It's supposed to be nice, and it's like completely
Yeah,
flat.
like upper 70s, right? Or
Upper
something like that.
It's actually
70s.
supposed to be warm.
yeah.
Yeah.
This weekend, I saw 81 here for Saturday.
I'll allow it.
I actually, because I was thinking about the Marine Corps marathoners, because Marine Corps is infamous for its terrible weather, whether it be raining or just ridiculously hot for being Halloween weekend.
Yep.
Mal is going to be at Marine Corps. So I know a bunch of people are cheering for it. So
Oh, cool.
I thought about it for a hot second, and then I was like, no, I cannot be away this weekend for something like that. I guess I can jump in and say that I am running for listening to my body. I will talk about it in a little bit, but I DNF'd a race this weekend. Kind of okay with it, but kind of also struggling with it. And at the same time, I don't really know. It's not really the DNF that I am struggling with. I think it's like, even if I had gone out for a 16-mile just training run, I think I would be annoyed with like my body. But I also know that I made the right choice of not running all the miles. My heart rate was really high. I wasn't feeling very good. I don't know. My coach and I have sort of talked over, the next strategy of what's to come. I'm adjusting some medications that I'm on. So I just got to listen to my body and not push it if it's not in a place to go where I need it to go, even if I am marathon training. If I'm not able to do it, I'm not able to do it. And I've got to learn to be kind to myself.
I'm running to not commit arson
Oh God.
because
So random.
Yeah, we had a wild arson episode in our
Oh
town.
my God.
Apparently,
I still am confused how you're running not to repeat the same
Because
pattern.
he wants to talk about
yeah.
it.
I mean,
I love it.
yeah.
Appreciate the game.
I mean, we do run by this street
We do.
regularly.
It's like it's my regular run route.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, that's weird. A friend of mine who lives around here sent it to me, and
And then I went and found it on Ring.
yeah, and I found the house on Apple Maps because Google Maps was too old. Yeah, so basically this person walked up in somebody's driveway. It was like 1:00 in the morning, well lit. Took a gas can, poured gas on a car, and then poured a trail of gas.
They've
And-
watched too many movies.
Yeah, and tried to light it. By the way,
Too many
like,
movies.
yes,
It's like, this is Home Alone.
yeah. I mean, that can work, but you also need more gas than this person poured on the ground.
Michael's a professional, so he would know
Yes,
that.
Yes, But then they came back and poured more gas and lit it on fire.
When they realized that it wasn't working.
That it wasn't and they clearly knew there was a camera and did not care.
Oh my God.
This was clearly like
this was a vendetta.
Neighbor or somebody like some personal vendetta. It was very
it's like a rogue Karen situation.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening. I
mean, it was so purposeful that it's not just like some random
this
person
was not
who was
random.
like, oh,
yeah, no.
I just feel like setting a car on fire today.
Yeah, no, not at all. No, this was
at least that's what we suspect.
No, it was pretty clearly purposeful.
Well, I agree with that, but maybe there's just some random person going around like, oh, this is fun to set cars on fire this way.
I guess, man, but I don't know. That felt really targeted.
Although I have to say, if they are an arsonist and know anything about fire, then
they're
they would
a really
probably
bad
know
arsonist, first
that,
of all,
that you can't watch a movie and expect to be able to set a car on fire the way that they do at a movie.
I kept waiting for the fireball off screen where they caught themselves on fire because they were still holding the gas can.
I love it.
That was my...
I mean, it's all over social media, so I can post the videos after this if anybody wants to see it. Or if
Criminal genius, mastermind.
Just ask me for the videos because I have them downloaded from the Ring camera.
Yeah, so wild. So, yeah, I'm going to run to not do that.
I want an update when they figure out like who it was and why.
Oh yeah, it's going to be like the next door neighbor or something,
and it's all over like the Haddonfield like Facebook groups and stuff like that with people already speculating stuff.
Oh, I'm sure they're speculating.
It's amazing.
Yeah, not shocking, but it's a goal. I mean, that person's goal was to burn that car to the ground.
And now, it's time for our Will Run 4 Goal Getters. Congrats on making your goals, you getters. Oh, who runs this shit?
All right, so miles and crowns. Smashed my goal at the AC half and PR'd by 5 minutes. Whoop, whoop.
It's amazing.
Recovery for a little and then switching to goofy training.
Yes.
It's amazing.
I got to see her cross the finish line. My plans this weekend kind of got all screwy. So on Sunday, instead of having dinner with all of them on Saturday, I went and cheered the half marathon. Got to see her cross the finish line. Crazy. She like a gazelle is what she looked like when she was coming by on that finish line.
Very nice.
Coach Mal, by the time this airs, hopefully I will have my Marine Corps medal.
There it is.
Whoop! Marine Corps. My initial goal was a 4:30, but I'll be happy with anything under 5. Temps are going to be warm. Listen to your body. See? Listen to the weather. The goal is to have a fun weekend with Megan, Violet, and Chris, and to get a really cool tour of DC while running. If I PR, that's great. If not, I'm okay with that because I know the experience is going to be amazing. I love that.
Yes.
And then who will also be there, this Phoenix runs, I'll be doing my 6th Marine Corps, 10/20/29, and then I'll be off to do my first NYC marathon the following week.
So I thought she was doing Marine Corps, but then I knew she was doing New York. So when we were talking about it earlier and we were mentioning people doing Marine Corps, I was like, I must be wrong because I know she's going to be in New York. Man.
Well, back to
back.
Man.
Back to back.
Get at it. I'm excited and nervous and confident. I'll have a great time despite making poor decisions, and I just hope my feet will hold out without much trouble.
Good luck. You got this.
She's got it. Yep, it's awesome. Our friend Chiquita, after back-to-back race weekends, she's running constantly. Chicago and Detroit, I survived, and I'm changing my intervals because I want to be a bit faster. I was being held back, so here's to putting in the work to reaching future goals.
Nice.
Good job.
Love it.
Another back-to-backer.
Yep. Yeah, playing with those intervals it does make a difference. I think. I don't know. Whenever I play with them, I seem to have good things come from that. Lori Bennett, it took 2 weeks to recover from the Chicago Marathon and now back into training mode for the Donna Marathon in the spring. We'll continue to work on speed and strength after 10 days off in November to hike and snorkel in the Galapagos Islands.
I'm so
incredible.
Jealous.
Great trip. And then Wendy, always. Our friend Wendy Larson, achieved my goal of taking it easy at my 100K in October. Took multiple selfies and watched the eclipse during the race. That's so cool. Up next is the biggie through the 24-hour time trial world championships. There'll be nothing easy about this. It's go as fast as you can for 24 hours straight.
Oh my God.
With the best ultra cyclists in the world. I'll be the only female hand cyclist to ever
Oh my
toe the
God.
start line. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is incredible. I have my goals, and I'll let you know the next time I hit them.
Oh my God.
That's
Insane.
so
Go get
cool.
it. Go get it.
Breaking barriers. I love it.
Insane.
Cra-
There's more.
crashing through the glass ceiling. All that good stuff. A green life. It's been a while since I submitted a goal around here. That's okay. We always welcome you back. Had a fall marathon that went well and took a couple weeks off running to give a lingering foot pain some rest before getting training started for Princess.
Always a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also trying to chase down Diana on the Peloton for minutes of the year. She's currently at 170 minutes ahead. Oh, is that even possible? Minutes of what?
Also, how do you know? Like, how do you find that
I
out?
didn't know there was a leaderboard.
Well, you're welcome, my followers. She's currently 170 minutes ahead, so I need to start closing the gap. Here's to more Peloton ride, strength, core, and running classes to kick off training.
Awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder, I do a lot of strength training and like stretches.
And
stuff
those
on Peloton.
stack.
Oh, they count.
Like, when I look at, like, because yours things transfer to Strava. I don't know if you even know that it does that.
Yeah.
So when
I
you
do a ton of
all
stacks.
of a sudden I see, I'm like 10 minutes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, she's working out forever.
Yeah.
Because it's like
I've been
10 minutes,
doing,
but it's like 5 of
Yeah.
them in a row. And I'm like, my God, lady, what is happening?
Yeah, I've been trying to do like an hour 30-ish. Kind of what I do with a stretch in there and
I know.
an arm.
And then like
stuff.
some legs and some glutes and a bike ride and a
Right.
warm up and a cool down. I'm like, what? My goodness, lady.
trying to look like a little snack. So, and then let's see, Bennett to win it. My goal is to complete my first marathon in New York in less than 2 weeks.
Nice.
Bennett to win it. Wait until my something good, and I'll tell you what to look for to find me at the New York City Marathon. Run, cat, run. Trying to hit a 15-minute mile on all my runs this week.
Awesome.
Nice and simple goal. I love it.
I love that goal.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Yep. Very good. Very good.
Lisa Knits and Trains. I'm really hoping I'll be cleared for running by wine and
Yes,
dine.
hopefully.
Injuries are poop.
Yes.
It's a very
Yeah.
simple statement and a very
Yes, they
true
are.
Very
statement.
true one.
Yes.
Matt Track says, just make it to Dopey. Training has derailed so far. I mean,
I hope he's fine.
we've all been there.
He's young and
It's true.
fit,
It's true.
muscular. And tight.
All right, settle down. Settle down.
What is happening?
Settle down.
Who are you, Tom?
We'll run for after dark. Let it go. Matt, what turns you
I was
on?
not expecting that. Actually, we should find out what turns Matt on.
Oh, yeah,
Matt,
that's a good point.
you should
Yeah.
come on an Inside the Runner studio.
Well, we know it turns Michael on.
Matt Tracks, apparently. FP.
KP.
Sorry. Wow, I'm all out of sorts now.
Try that
Woo!
again.
KP
Benin.
Benin?
Yeah.
First Dopey Sim week this week for my first Dopey.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Dopey training season.
Yes. GP.
The other night, Tom and I looked at each other and we're like, aren't you glad we're not training for Dopey right now?
I will have FOMO.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah, we'll be
you
so
know.
mad like that entire weekend.
but
But-
then you'll remember the 3 months before that where
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is a
Where you've
commitment.
gotten to do things and have a life.
Yes.
GB Raps. Tony says, mix in more Peloton rides in on my off day running days, but actually go easy and not kill my legs.
I learned this lesson too.
Yeah. So So he is in the Disney, like Run Disney Pals Peloton group that I'm in, where Greg from Rise and Run is in there too, where they do 5:15 a.m. bike rides. And I have done it like maybe once because 5:15 is entirely too early. And him and this girl, Erica, like they will do a 30-minute ride and they will like compete for like 500 watts or whatever. They're like, their PR things are like ridiculous. I'm like, what is happening? Everyone else is like immortal status at like 2 to like 250. And these two are like battling it out for a PR every time.
Oh my God. I always feel like, I guess I don't really look at like what other people do. But you kind of see where you are on the leaderboard. And I'm like very middle to very at the end. Like I don't know what other people are doing on the bike.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And I don't know how.
I don't even know how they get that high in watts.
No, because I see like Karate, who's like insane, and like what he posts, and I was like, I've never got near whatever that is. Like, how does you get that number? Like, I'll put it on like as hard as I can get it, or as like the resistance as hard as I can get it, and then be going as fast as I can, and then maybe hit like 150 or something.
Yeah. We got Jamie, who is here with his go-getter, not his goal-getter.
Jeez.
I mean, I think he's a go-getter.
It's true. I didn't do my goal from Myrtle Beach Mini between crappy weather, humidity from hail, and from rain, but only finished less than a minute slower than his goal. Yeah. I joined the club of the funky toe pictures.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did send us that one. It actually wasn't that bad. It was just.
I still didn't need to see a picture of it. I don't
need to see it.
I'm gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to send me your toes.
I see mine all the time, so it really wasn't.
I have to see his toes all the time, so I don't need to see other people's. If you want to mention that other than that, my next few races are 5K, 110K to finish out
I'm
the year.
going to go with that's a 10K, not 110K, but
Hoping to finish out strong. Well, if you're doing 110K, you're definitely going to finish that out strong.
Yeah.
We got Jennifer Cook. Ooh, we haven't heard from the New Hampshire girls in quite some time.
Remember she was having the kids in different schools and programs, and oh my God.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's about to be freezing and dark, so they're going to get out there and start running.
You guys
again.
gotta start running so you control Tom again. Broken record warning, just to get my shit together in the least bit and maintain something that resembles consistency. I do not apologize for the fact that I said that word, and Michael now has to bleep that out. I only read the goal getters. I can't help if that's what happens.
You're not
Michael.
censoring anyone.
Fall, school, work, and sports has me drowning.
Yes, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Hopefully, it calms down for you a little bit. And then we have Stephanie Donahue, who says, I met my goal of a sub 2 hour for the Dam Site Half Marathon.
That's
congratulations.
Sub 2 is such a big goal.
I had been working with Fleet Feet group training program, and my practice run was 2:03. So I was ecstatic to break my time with a 1:58:50.
Nice.
Wow.
Happy
so cool.
dance,
Yes, queen.
That's awesome.
Believe in the training and you will do great. And that is a great message to end that on, actually.
That's true.
Great. That's awesome.
Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah, congratulations to all of our goal getters. All right, so all 4 of us have races to talk about,
Can you believe
which
it?
hasn't happened in a while.
It
Been a
has
while.
not happened in a while. We had a little bit of a slow season.
Yeah. Weirdly, fall is our slow season.
Yeah. We're like, we only run in.
Well, we had
the
like a
heat
busy
in
like
Missouri.
September-ish time.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah. I guess
like
that's true.
August,
Yeah.
September, and then all of a sudden like October, we just like end of September, October, we just died out for like a few weeks.
All right, so I'm first. So I guess about 2 weeks ago or something, I participated in the Baltimore Running Festival I did the 10K, but it has a 5K, a 10K, a half, and a full. Most of us have done some of those races.
And if you know that,
It's
I'm a
Diana's
fan.
favorite
just my favorite thing. to do.
favorite
That is
race
not true.
series of all time.
It was the Saturday after Diana and I went to see the Taylor Swift Eras tour movie. So I just got up and I went to the race by myself. She offered to come down and cheer, but just logistics and the dog and everything. So I just went by myself.
He's making it sound like
I'm not making it sound like anything.
I said, if you really want me, I'll go down there, but I prefer not. He's making me sound like a more supportive wife. I'm a very loving wife. I'm just I like my bed. Sleeping in. Wife.
I feel like
Anyway,
that's fair.
I had picked up my bib from the expo. The expo's typical expo. It's kind of nice, but I didn't spend any time there. Huge bibs for that race.
Oh,
Like,
man.
Michael, you would not have approved.
Unreal.
But I drove down. It was really easy. I parked in the Baltimore Ravens stadium parking lot and walked to the start line. I saw my friends Kapil and his brother Raul, who I know follow the podcast, and they're super fast. They were doing the full marathon. The race went well, and I was dreading it because my training has been super inconsistent. But it started, and when you start, for about the first 2 miles, you go basically uphill through some sketchy neighborhoods, and then you kind of you run alongside of a reservoir, and then there's at least the last 3 miles are basically downhill.
What's that reservoir?
What reservoir is it?
Is it Lake?
It's not Lake. It's not
Lake
Wendy Dave's.
Oh, there's actually a sinkhole by Lake Montebello right now, so they had to reroute like the entire marathon.
Oh, so it's not Dave Thomas's.
It's not
Dave Montebello Thomas's lake that you went by. Oh, sad.
Nope. But it felt really good. I just kind of settled into intervals, and I was just doing my own thing. I had headphones, but I didn't even use them because there was a lot of course support. I guess people were cheering basically the whole way. I felt really good running, and I would just I would skip an interval of walking and just run through it. And like when you're going through these intersections and the cops have traffic stopped on both sides, I would run harder through them. So I was running harder. It felt good. And that was kind of it was a welcome change from how I'd been feeling.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to keep doing this, and just kept pushing myself and pushing myself. My time was actually pretty good for me, but more so I felt really good doing it. And I hadn't felt that way in a while.
Yay.
And that gave me confidence, right? And it's a 10K, and I'm not taking that distance away from anybody, but it's not a half marathon. It's not a full marathon, but I felt good the entire time. The medal's really cool. It's that crab medal that opens up, and it's got a picture of a ship on it. And, they have the typical snacks afterwards. It did start to rain for about my last mile, but it was like a light, misty rain. The marathon itself, it rained pretty much most of the time. But overall, my race went really well.
Nice.
Shout out again to Kapil and his brother Raul, who both finished the full marathon. And then also shout out, I don't have her name, but the winner, or maybe it's the first female finisher of the Baltimore Marathon. It was her first marathon
Ever.
Nice.
Ever.
Nice.
I can't even.
And she won it by a pretty good margin. And I think she was going to New York next.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
And it was because she was being interviewed, and it was her friends were like, well, why don't you just go and do this marathon? And she just did.
Oh my God. That's insane.
But I think her time, I'm not going to get it right, but That was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool story. So, I was pleasantly surprised by this race, and I'm really hoping to have a similar experience in Ocean City this weekend, but we shall see. But that definitely gave me some confidence, and I had a really good experience.
That's good.
Yeah, you came home feeling confident. I could tell you had a good race.
Yeah. So that's my race. That's the Baltimore Running Festival.
How was is it a good course? Good startup, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Starts late. That's also one of the reasons I don't love that race.
Oh, is it?
What time does
is it
it
a
start?
later start?
Well,
Well, could you run the
So it's-
10K before the half marathon, right? Because that's what we did when
it's weird. So the 5K starts
First.
in a different part of the city. Not that far, but a different part of the city. That starts at 7:30. Then the marathon and the 10K start at 8.
Okay.
And then the half starts at 9:45.
Well, that's
weird.
because to do the challenge, you can run.
You do the
you can
you
do
do the half and the
5K and the half. So you have to be able to finish the 5K and then
Yeah.
start the half.
Gotcha.
Because that's
Yeah.
what Tom and I did that one year that we
Yep.
did it together. We walked the 5K and then did the half marathon right after with
Gotcha.
friends.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time to do that. No, it was weird because, like, when I say I was feeling good, like, my gait, I guess, is kind of a little jog, right? But then I started to open up my gait when I was feeling good and trying to run a little bit harder. And so that was different for me because I was like, I don't know, I'm feeling it. Let me just try to push it a little bit. So, again, confidence, and that it was a good experience.
Nice.
So yeah. So yay me.
Yay, Tom.
you. Real.
I just realized that every race we're talking about is in Maryland.
Apparently we
Go
I was going to say
Maryland.
whatever the Maryland motto is, but I don't know.
Black
You
Eyed
should see the
Susans.
you should see the socks we got from.
Oh, we got Maryland flag
We
socks.
got Maryland flag running
Oh,
socks.
of course you did.
Yeah.
Because our flag is a cult.
It's like
is,
so
definitely.
People
Yeah.
are like into the
horrible.
flag here.
Yeah.
Like really into the
I
flag.
noticed
They
that.
love the flag here.
It's
They
really,
love the flag.
really ugly though.
I think that's
I
why
hear
they
ya.
like it. Yeah, that's the point.
It's like gritty.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it looks stupid.
Our
and we're
flag
like,
is
"Hell
better than
you."
gritty. First of all,
Whoa, those are fighting words.
that's not even a hot take. Have you seen gritty?
No, you know I love gritty. He's maybe one of the things I like about sports is gritty.
Awful. Just awful.
So we went to the Patapsco Valley 50 and 25K.
Patapsco.
Which you have run before.
Yeah, this is my second time on the actual course.
This was the 10th anniversary
Oh,
of it. They had 2 runners that have run it all 10 years.
times, yeah.
And they had 5 runners, I
That
think,
did it
that
5
have done
times.
it 5 times.
Yeah. It's a fun race for sure. I enjoy it. They do a good job putting it together. You get handmade mugs at the end.
it's really nice.
Which are nice, like,
Well,
something
the
different.
50K gets handmade metal mugs.
Yes.
And I like that they're all different ones, so you get to choose which one you like want to specifically. It's like the horseshoes from Bird in Hand. No 2 are exactly the same because they're
Yeah,
all
I love that.
handmade. But the 25K got a medal.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Let's see. I guess I started first technically.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's a fun course. It's like the first couple miles. It's a 25K loop or 16-mile loop technically. First couple miles are a little. It's the reverse of what we ran it last year. A little chunky, then really runnable in the middle, then a little climby at the end, and
Yes, because the course every year changes.
flips directions. Yeah.
So one year you
Oh.
run it one direction, and the next year you run it counterclockwise.
You cross the Patapsco River at one point, which was nice. It actually felt good on my ankles. I realized, so I had some time. I didn't really have like serious time goals going in because I haven't really run that much to really have a time goal. But I ran the first half really well. I felt pretty good. And I was like, okay. And I kind of decided to just, after I got done the first loop, my ankles were really sore. And I was like, I really have not run on the trail all that much.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
His weak ankles.
yeah, I'm like, I'm really, and I didn't trip or like turn them or anything like that. It was just
No, it's just because
from
it's unstable.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I just have not run a lot of trails. I'm realizing, so my ankles were kind of hurting. So I was like, I'm gonna take it easy on the second loop because I didn't really time wise. I was like, it didn't matter too much to me where I ended up because I just wanted to finish and not get hurt. Like, last year when I smashed my toe and all that kind of stuff. So none of that happened. And I took my time, finished the second loop. I stopped in the river for a little bit and soaked my ankles, which was nice because the water was nice and cool. I, as a normal runner does, tried all new fuel on race day.
Oh.
That's
and it actually all worked and went well. So that is weird. But yeah, at the end I was kind of like, I take these for granted. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go
run a 50K.
And I'm like, I shouldn't take them for granted. Like, a lot of people can't do it. They don't have the time to put into it or whatever reasons. And I'm like, I should appreciate that I'm just able to do it. And that's what I did. So I just enjoyed my time out in the woods. I took my time, didn't get hurt, ran, hiked when I had to, had fun, did not wear headphones the entire time.
He was raw dogging it.
Yeah.
Raw dogging his own thoughts.
I actually was surprised. I ended up slower than last year, which I was a little disappointed in that since I actually got hurt last year. But I was like, two different directions. So
yeah, and it sounds like you put yourself in a really good mental space, so you probably felt good.
Yeah.
During it when you finished. I think that accounts for a lot.
I didn't really push the second loop at all.
I was gonna say, I feel like you also just weren't trail. We weren't trail trained.
Yeah, I mean, I was coming off rocking the knob last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had been on the trails,
and you haven't been elevation training as much. There's almost 3,500 feet of official climbing in this race. According to GPS, it's actually a little bit more than 4, that. 000, but so I mean, that's a lot of climb when you're not used to climbing at all.
Yeah.
And the few times we have been on the trails that they've been recently have been like the Pinelands in New Jersey, where
which is not.
You have like a 50-foot hill, and then that's it.
That's it.
That's literally the only thing out there.
There's no hills. Yeah, no hills at all. Not that like Patapsco isn't like crazy hilly, but it's hilly. I mean, it's a hilly area. Hilly. Yeah, you're up and down a lot of rolling hills. It's a really, really runnable, fun course. If I was in better shape, it would be
that's what
more
made me
fun.
mad.
But
people are out there all the time.
God,
people bike out there all the time. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, there was a ton of people out there. Like towards the end of the race, there was more people out because it was just beautiful out. People with their dogs and families and stuff like that. So it's really nice. But I was happy with my day. It's a fun race. I like doing it. It's one of those where I'll fit it in if there's nothing going on that weekend. I'll just fit it in. Mm-hmm. It's not crazy expensive. It's really well run, and just like great setup, great parking area. You park right at the start finish.
Yeah, Tom came and hung out for a little while.
I was going to come up, but I was doing a Peloton stack because I slept until 10:30 and woke up and didn't know what day it was.
Logistically, it is a nice kind of area that they have.
Yeah.
With all that parking, and I mean, yeah,
you're right there. It's like, covered parking. Right at the start finish, you get your stuff, you get set up, you go, you come back, your car's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a race that if you picked up your packet because you happen to be like local, if you picked up your packet, you could literally roll up 5 minutes before and just start. Just start. Like it's that kind of race because there's nothing in the beginning. There's no like expo. There's no like sign. Like there's nothing to do. You literally just park in the parking lot, and it started this year in the actual parking lot. So you just roll right out.
Yeah, and it's at the community college, right? So there's just tons of parking.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, it might stress Tom out to roll up there 5 minutes before, but if you had your bib, you really could do that.
It wouldn't stress me out because there's no way that would ever happen. Not that I wouldn't run the race.
Yes.
I would just get there an hour early and be like, why am I here? There's no reason to be here.
Hey, if you got there an hour early, I'm not even sure the race director would have been there yet. It's that kind of like,
Yeah.
Oh god.
In your race, Michael, it was like a loop, right? So like you got to come in
Yep.
and then go back out.
Yeah,
it's
two-
So you could like change your shoes,
Yeah.
whatever you needed.
I
to do.
actually stopped and like redid my feet and stuff, and then went back out.
yeah, it's 225K
Oh,
loops.
I forgot. So about was it on the second loop? It was like maybe the end of the first loop, beginning of the second loop, and it was definitely on the first loop. I'm like, oh, I'm getting a weird chafing. Well, in
Ooh.
my haste of packing, I have these running shorts that I keep forgetting to throw out that have 2 holes in the crotch.
Air,
Who are you, me?
air vents.
And so I was getting these weird rub togethers on my upper thigh.
It was not good when
Yeah.
he came in.
They were, yeah. I was like, oh, God. I was like, I can't believe I wore these shorts.
He's-
I totally
He
forgot.
sat down on the hill. He was like, I have these holes right here in these shorts. I look at the holes. They're like this big on the one side. And I just see like this red, like bumpy
Yep.
spot. I was like, ooh, have fun
Thankfully,
showering with that.
It's alright. It healed up really quick and actually was not that bad in the shower.
Okay.
But I mean, I kept putting stuff the whole second loop. That was another thing where I was taking my time, making sure I took care of that the whole loop also. I was like, I'll just whatever.
Yeah, you're lucky
Just
you
take my
had
time.
that little squirrels with you. Because remember when you were like, hey, if you want
Oh
to
no, I had my whole stick with me.
Oh, did
of the
you?
other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were like, if you want to take this little squirrels, I was like, no, you can keep
Yeah.
it.
Well, no, because I had my big vest with me, so I was like, I'm just gonna throw this big stick of lube in there because, like, I don't know.
And the big stick of lube. You never know what's
What's
going
it
to
weigh?
happen.
Like 3
You
ounces?
never know.
Like
Never
Never
Yeah.
know when you're
Yeah.
going to need that lube.
when you're in the woods, sometimes you need a big stick of lube.
Sometimes you do.
It's true.
I was like, oh, I'm chafing. I got to throw these shorts out before I do it again. I wore them to
Yeah.
Orange Theory once, and I was
He's
like
had
on the
these
floor
forever.
stretching. I was
That's
like,
how
oh
long.
my God.
That's how long these shorts have been around, and he has said he
No.
needs to throw them out. But the thing is that every single time he says it, he comes back, he throws them in the wash, and then he forgets that he threw them in the wash,
And then they
and
end
then they end
up
up
Yeah.
in a drawer,
Yeah.
and then he wears them again, and we go through this for the last like 2 years of our lives.
What I do a lot of times, like if I have a hole, and that's happened to me once, and I've forgotten it had a hole, before I like put them back, or I rip them more, so like the rip is like
So,
super
yeah,
noticeable.
That's the problem. These aren't, when I roll them up and like put them in,
You can't
I can't tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
so he just keeps, instead of taking them off and throwing them in the trash can next to the like it's like almost right next to the laundry basket. Instead of putting them in the trash bin, he puts them into the laundry bin, and then they just get washed, and we repeat
Yep.
cycle
It happens.
It's fine.
over and
fine.
over.
Oh, and the bib size is fantastic.
Yeah, we want to talk about the bibs
They're like
that Tom
4
had comparatively.
They're like 4 inches by 6 inches.
They're like little
Wow.
tiny. They're
They're
smaller.
amazing.
They're smaller than our Will Run for.
Way half the size of those.
I
Oh.
wouldn't say half. They're
Yeah.
not half the
Yes,
size.
I
They're-
guarantee you.
They're
Area
not.
wise, I guarantee you.
I guarantee you they're
I'm gonna
not.
look it up. I'm gonna measure both. We're
I'm
do
gonna
the
gonna
math.
pull one out.
Can we?
There.
Can we?
No,
Can
no,
we?
we cannot get through an episode without it. We can't. It's not going to happen. I guess I'm next technically, since my race started an hour after his.
Yes, it's true.
I met Tom's lovely friend Mindy. I didn't have to go up to her and do a hashtag race report. She came up to me and we hashtag race reported it. Mindy is an adopted Asian woman, as am I. For anyone out there wondering, she was very nice, very sweet. She was like, "Oh, she came up to me. She's like, "This is a weird question." So I was really actually expecting her to ask the "Are you an adopted Asian woman?" question, because that's
Oh,
what
there you
Tom
go.
told me to ask her when I saw her. But she
What's your
did
name?
not. She was like, "This might be weird, but do you know Tom?" And I was like, "I do."
Tom lived with Mindy.
Yeah, we were roommates in college.
Oh, nice. Very sweet. She was like, talked about how she was going to go real slow And she was like, what do you think you're going to do? Because I think I'm going to be real slow. And then she's like, I don't know. I did like a 3:30 last year, so I think I might be faster this year. And I was like, yeah, girl, you're going to be way faster than me. So nice to meet you.
She's been killing it. Remember, she was the one that did that like run streak where she ran for like 1,000 days in a row.
Oh my God.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. She started in like COVID. She's like a teacher when COVID started. She was just like, I'm just going to run. I think it was like at least a mile or two every day. And I don't know if she kept it up and still that number's growing, but I remember when she hit like her 1,000 days in a row.
That's crazy. That's just insane. Yeah. So anyway, I honestly going into this didn't quite know what to expect. I was taking this kind of as a training run. I mean, even like when we talked about it, because I was supposed to have it. I'm officially marathon training. Like I'm in the thick of it at this point. So like this weekend, I still have a 16 miler on my calendar. So I'm just going to consider this DNF a pullback week. So I was supposed to take it easy anyway, because this week coming up was supposed to be a bigger week anyway. So I wasn't going into this with any like high expectations. I haven't been on the trails either. So I knew that I wasn't trail ready. I knew my ankles weren't trail ready. I will say that the first 2.5 miles concerned me quite a bit because there was a lot of rocks, a lot of elevation. And I was like, oh crap, this sucks.
Yeah. Especially after not doing it for a long time. Like it feels like something that you would have not even thought twice about.
Yeah. And I think,
you know, when you're like training in it all the time.
I think you take it for granted because I'm like, oh, I can do a trail race. Like that's not a big deal. And then you forget that like, no, like you have to retrain your like ankles and all that to like be able to do those kinds of like rocky turns and tree roots and make sure you're like watching your feet. And apparently Michael did text me, but it never went through that the first to warn me that the first 2.5 miles were a little rough, but after that it was runnable.
I did, yeah.
But I didn't get that text. So I went into that first 2 miles like, oh crap, what did I get myself into? But it was still tough. My heart rate elevated very quickly. I assumed it was because of the elevation that I wasn't used to.
Probably.
But when I got to the flats, I couldn't bring it down. So I got to like 2.5 and it got like runnable. And there's actually a stretch of about a half a mile that's on pavement, that you go across like a little bridge and then come around and then go back up into the trails. And even then I was doing like a 12:30, like I wasn't running anything super fast and I could not get my heart rate to settle. So I like took a second. I took a picture at like the little bridge and tried to let it like come down before I kept going. And it never really came down under 150, even just standing there waiting. So then I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep moving. And I walked. And as soon as I started walking, it went up to 160, which is super high for me. And I was sort of like, all right, I'm just going to walk and see what I can do from here. So I started walking. And then, as he said, it got super runnable. And I was getting kind of annoyed because I'm like, this is a great course. Like I could run this, but every single time I would try and trot. And when I say trot, I was doing at most like a 12:30 to like a 14-minute mile. Like it wasn't like I was like running. And I just, every single time I would start, I would immediately go up to like 165 to 170. And then if there was like even a slight bit of elevation, I was hitting like 175. And at one point I saw 181 and I was like, wow, this is not good. I'm not even exerting any energy. I'm not doing anything hard enough to warrant this. Like I'm not racing this race. Like my heart rate hit that when I did my PR marathon, but I was running like an 8-minute mile at the end.
All right. I'm no doctor, obviously. But like I'm wondering if some of it is like anxiety and then like you couldn't bring it down. So like that was causing more stress. And then it was like your first time on the trails in a while. And it was like the combination of like everything on your body.
Yeah, I think it was,
I
changed medication doses. So I think my heart rate and anxiety from that was already high. And then I was doing trail race and immediately my heart rate jumped because I was doing elevation I wasn't used to. And then once it got that high, there was just, without stopping, there was no way to bring it down. Because even my slowest mile, which was a 21-minute mile, my average heart rate when I looked at it was a 159, which is just my body telling me something's wrong and I need to stop. And it I talk about my heart rate sometimes, but this was different. Like I felt it. I felt it in my chest, like something felt wrong. Like I could, when it would elevate, I could almost feel like it pumping. And when it gets that high, I even though I can feel that I'm working, I don't feel it like pounding. And that's what it felt like. It felt like it was like physically pounding. Eventually, I got to mile 10.5, and that's where the aid station was. And there was another woman there that was like talking to one of the aid station people. And I overheard them say, well, we can drive you back. And I was like, oh, she's getting a ride back. And I was eating like solid food there. Like I took some time. I ate some pancakes because then like they asked me if I was okay. Because apparently I didn't look okay because when I got there, they were like, are you okay? Why don't you sit for a minute? So clearly when I came in, I didn't look okay.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on a curb. I was eating solid foods and they were like, well, she's definitely going back. So she's going to get a ride. Do you want another minute? And I was like, I guess I'll take another minute to figure it out. And I texted Michael and I said, and I didn't know if he would get it or not, but I was like, I feel like trash. I think I'm dropping at 10.5 or whatever aid station. And end up hearing back from him. But it just sort of was like thinking about it. There was also a part of me that was like, if I hike the next 5 miles, even if I just really just do like the 20-minute, 1-minute mile or 25-minute mile, either way, I have to wait for Michael to finish his 50K.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So I was like, should I just hike and keep moving forward? But in the end, I've been like, what value is that to me? Like, what am I getting out of going those extra 5 miles just to do what? I'm not proving anything to anyone. I don't care if I have a DNF. DNFs aren't like a stain on my like, running career. Like I don't have a running career. It's just like, what is it? What am I going to get out of it other than getting the medal? So eventually I just decided that it wasn't worth it. And I stopped and I got the ride back, found Tom and hung out with Tom in Indy for a while. And that was my race. And then I waited for 4.5 hours in the freezing cold wind for Michael to finish.
That's amazing. And I mean, if you haven't been training on trails at all, right? And you had to do 16, but you did 10 miles that was technical and with elevation, right? I feel like a lot of that all comes out.
No, I kind of agree, especially like 1,400 feet of elevation, which I haven't done in like forever. Like all that has to get taken into account. So
your body still probably felt like you did 16 miles.
Yes, that is true. Yes.
So, and you had Indy's smiling face.
Oh, Indy's so cute with his little, I've decided it's his, what did I decide it was? His chow chow tail.
Yeah, he's happy to be here. And he was very excited when you guys came over on Friday night.
Yes.
And was biting Erin.
Oh my God. Now I know what Tom goes through. When,
oh my God.
I'm like, what is happening? He's just chomping on my arm.
That's true.
It's so cute.
It's like, is this not how we play? Is this not part of
it? Whose dog was he playing? Was it Goo's dog he was playing with?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Those two dogs were so happy to be there.
Did Goo run the 25K?
He didn't run. Okay. He's done this before. He's really good friends with the race director who actually, he was telling me that the race director flew out to pace Goo at the Leadville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
So like he's friends with all that that whole community and everybody that puts on that race.
And I think it was Mindy who told me that at one point, because the course has changed over the last 10 years quite a bit, and there used to be more river crossings. And he was mad when they took out his specific river crossing that he put into the course.
I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah.
He's like, I put that misery there for a reason. And then they took it out.
He loves the misery.
I love a good water crossing.
Yeah, that was a nice water crossing, actually. I took the video of it for the stories.
That gave me anxiety.
I would be like, I'm not crossing that. Are you crazy? Like, are there
What gave you
can I
anxiety?
skip over the rock?
The actual water crossing,
Wet-
or the fact that
wet
I was videoing
No.
while doing it?
No. That was
I
fine. But
love
like
getting
the
cooling
wet
off your
feet and then the rubbing,
Mm.
because I've just had blisters this
Lube.
entire year.
Yeah,
You
lube.
a lot when you know that there's
Yeah.
going to be water.
I always put a ton.
Do you remember when we were at, what the hell was that? Loopy Looper, where we're like, you should put a lot on your feet.
Oh my
And
god!
the amount
Yes.
of squirrel's nut butter he was skipping, we're like, everything you're doing is just. It was like he was like rubbing like Crisco on his
Yes.
feet.
That's what it looked
Felt
like.
so
We're
good.
like, why? Like we said a lot, like not like
A tub.
Not like the whole tub. Yeah.
Not like
the
it's
Crisco.
a coating.
Oh my
like you're
god!
about gonna deep fry them.
Oh my god. Oh boy.
Oh, good. Well,
That's our races.
yeah, I also ran a race. So on Sunday, I did the Oktoberfest 5 miler. I've done this a bunch of times. I love this race. I don't know why I love this race. It's where we run 3 times a week. It's nowhere.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's nowhere different than where
That's
we.
awesome.
Is
we
it just
normally
is it a
run.
Columbia race?
It starts at Charm City
Okay.
Run in Columbia and then runs around Lake Elkhorn and it comes out the other side and then you go down Broken Lamb Parkway and you end at Hysteria Brewing Company.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So I mean it's a slightly different path than I normally go,
Okay.
but it's the lake I run constantly. So I don't know. I always like this race. I like that 5 miler distance.
Yeah, 5 miler is a
They've
good
always
distance.
got a cute like t-shirt and swag. The metal is fantastic. It's a bottle opener. It's fun. It's relatively small. You were talking to Megan, right? And she said there were 700 people registered.
So it's sold out at 750, and then I was kind of hanging around after the after everybody started, and so they radioed in, and like 631 people started. So about 100, just over 100 people didn't start that race.
I wonder if it's because when you register early, it's super cheap. Like I'm
Yeah,
getting ready to register
yeah.
for next year, and I think it's like $35.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I got something going on. Yeah.
Or yeah. And I feel like Charm City is like always easy to defer and all
Yeah.
that stuff too. So makes it really easy. We had done Rocky Horror Picture Show the night before. It was a screening with props and people throwing things and screaming. And the original Magenta from the movie did a Q&A.
Oh,
before.
really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I say all that to say we were drinking.
Hence, is that why? Oh no, you did that the night of. I was thinking that was why you didn't come to our race, but that's
was later
that night.
It was
Later
later
that
that
night.
night.
It was later that night. That was later that night. That's probably why Tom had to get back, so that we could get ready because we were going to dinner and all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's right up the street. So we got there. I didn't pick up my bib or anything the day before, so I had to pick up my bib. So we got there like 45 minutes early, parked. Logistically, it is a little weird because it starts and ends at 2 different spots, but it's only, I don't know, maybe a mile. So
Oh, that's not bad.
if
Yeah.
you park at the start line, you have to walk like
back,
a
yeah.
mile. So Tom drove me to the start line with Indy, and Indy's in his element because he loves everyone.
He really does.
Anyone that'll see.
He
Yeah,
really,
he's happy
he
to see
really
everybody.
is just happy to be there. I have never seen a dog just so happy to be around people.
Yep, he's like, thank you for making me a part of this. That is his vibe. So yeah, he was loving life. And then I ran. I didn't know how I would feel because I was drinking the night before. I showed up and it was freezing and I got mad because I wasn't ready for it. I brought a long sleeve that I'd planned on not wearing or just wearing at the start line and handing. Like I had a long sleeve and then like a sweatshirt. And I was planning on handing both to Tom, and we got out of the car and I was cold and cranky and then panicked and then put my long sleeve under my tank top because I wanted my tank top to show because it was cute.
Yep.
And I'm an a-hole.
True.
So we had to go back to the car so I could take off my tank top and put my long sleeve under it.
Oh my God.
Because I was like, I'm going to need this to run. And then took off and was feeling really good. And I didn't change my watch, but I basically changed my interval where I was running 2.5 minutes and then walking 30 seconds. So I was walking less and then like I was skipping some intervals. I don't know. I always feel really good this race. Every time I've done it, I felt great and I don't know why. And then I got hot going around the lake and literally had to take off the long sleeve out from underneath my tank top. So that was obviously a mistake. And
it's always a mistake.
It's always a mistake.
That's the worst part about this time of year is like you go into a race thinking like, oh, because it's chilly in the morning. You're like, oh my God, it's cold. So then you overdress and then you actually start moving, especially if you're moving fast. You're like, oh, crap.
And I'm not used to it yet because I have been refusing to run outside in the cold.
Yeah.
So like last year I had it down to a science exactly what I needed. But I thought looking at the weather, I was like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I didn't need it. But the course is good. You know, it's got some rolling hills. I always forget you hit mile 4 and you go literally straight uphill for a half a mile.
Oh, God.
So that everyone dies and is really angry. But like I said, I was pushing myself. I haven't pushed myself in a run in a really long time. Because I like to run at a conversational pace. I like to walk.
Enjoy it.
Walk, run, enjoy it. Go, a good pace, but not push myself at all. And I had my headphones in and I was feeling good. And I was definitely pushing myself because I was out of breath because when I would do my walks, I could hear myself and I was slightly embarrassed by how hard I was breathing, especially going up the hill. And then I started looking at my watch and I didn't know what like my previous times were or anything like that. And I looked at my watch and I was like, oh, I can do this definitely in under an hour. And when I finished, I ended up beating like my course PR by like 4 minutes and then my 5-miler PR by like 1:30. So
wow.
Not bad for margaritas the night before.
So good. I'm so proud of you.
It's an amazing feat.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah. It's good.
So long.
Oh boy.
And yeah, Tom was like, oh, how'd you feel? And I was like, terrible. Running fast is stupid.
It is.
I was like, this is why I don't do this all the time.
It really is.
Like, this is why I don't like push myself like to like get faster like that. I'd like to get like my comfortable pace slightly faster, but no, this is miserable. I don't want to run every race like feeling like that. That did not feel good. Like I felt good as like from a runner point of view, but like I wasn't like this is like a great race.
Yeah,
well, that's why I don't like 5Ks because I feel like I start out like, oh, I'm gonna run this easy, but then it's a 5K, so you start running fast, and then you're like, oh crap, now we gotta keep running fast, and then you just feel like you're dying.
Yeah, so I kind of felt like death afterwards.
It's fantastic,
and I didn't stretch, and I was like, this is all mistakes, but yeah, I love that race. I've got nothing negative to say about that race. It was slightly cold when we finished, and then I got, with my sweat. Hysteria had a Kolsch and an IPA after, but then the brewery was open, so you could get really whatever you wanted. Yeah, I don't know. I just love that race. I saw this girl Marie I went to high school with, who I've been casually Facebook friends with for the last 5 years since we graduated.
I was 5 years.
I was just gonna. So I was kind of wondering what you were gonna say there for a second. I'm like, is she gonna say 20 years? Is she going to go there?
But yes, I've been like Facebook friends with her really since, but I haven't really spoken to her. And so I actually went up to say her shorts were cute. And then she turned around and it was her. And I was like, oh my God.
That's funny.
So that was nice seeing her. But yeah, I basically ran it alone in the zone.
Nice.
I do want to address something. One of the members of the Will Run For podcast staff is our dog Indiana. And so Indy,
Oh yeah.
Indy is great with children. He's good with all people. He's not a violent dog, and he barely barks. But what he does,
He even liked a baby at the distillery we went to.
he did. But he does bark at like people on rollerblades or people on bicycles. And when we were in the like around the start area of Diana's race, a woman in a wheelchair goes by.
Oh no.
Nope.
And he barks at this woman in a wheelchair.
Did not like that.
Oh no.
And it was not a good look.
Oh, no.
It
Like-
was- yeah,
If I can give you some feedback, Indiana, that was not a good look, and we need to work on that.
it's problematic. How will Wendy feel?
I'm just saying, it's not, yeah. And he doesn't dislike anybody. It's just something
About the wheels.
I don't know.
Something
about the
about
wheels.
The way
He's like,
He's
it's
al-
unnatural.
something about
He-
bikes
he-
and wheels and
He's almost jumped in front of bicycles
my
when he sees them
God.
coming.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Problematic.
we're gonna have to work on that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, sounds like
It's not
it.
a good look.
Sounds like it. So your next races are this weekend, right?
Yep.
And then
I'm just doing the 8K.
and then do you
And
have
I'm
anything
doing the
in November?
half. We have the Bay
the
Bridge.
Bay Bridge run.
Okay.
We have a hot cider hustle.
Oh, yeah, that's a 10K.
Okay.
So a couple
So, yeah,
10Ks.
like little
my
races.
nephew's elementary school is doing a little turkey trot. That's not on Thanksgiving. We'll probably find a turkey trot because we do one every year.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And then holiday hustle in December.
Okay.
So just some little ones, nothing more than
Yeah.
like a 10K.
What do you have next, Michael?
for
Is
the rest of the
the
year.
Frosty Looper what's next for us?
Yeah, Frosty.
Think Frosty
that's-
might be what's
As far as I
next.
know, that's the only thing we have.
I mean, we're gonna
And
run in Dublin. Greg is gonna try to outdo Allie from Rise and Run, who
Oh,
accidentally ran a
50K.
ultra marathon
Yeah.
distance at her 15 miler, and then
Well,
decided
it was
to
a 12-hour
double.
race.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Where she was going to do 15 miles and then somehow doubled it. So congratulations, Allie.
Yes.
And we've challenged Greg to not be outdone by Allie.
We may have immediately started trolling him on the drive
Immediately.
home.
Immediately.
Immedi-
For the record, I was driving, so I immediately turned to Michael and said, "You need to be texting Greg right now." So Tom, how's it coming along with us convincing you to pace Greg?
that's the weekend we have stuff.
They have
Yeah, I know, but
those
you
couple
said that you were
races, yeah.
still considering it.
Celtic solstice, right? Solstice.
Oh, Celtic solstice. That's right.
Is that on the same day?
No, it's
That's the
the
16th?
it's the day after, I think.
Day after, yeah.
And then the day after is holiday hustle. I don't know. Did you sign up for holiday hustle?
I don't know. Did you sign me up?
I don't know.
I think we had this exact same discussion last time on
Yes.
this podcast. This
I signed up
was
for
the exact same conversation.
I signed up for it when it was $25.
Ooh.
Where Tom
So-
said, "I don't know. Did you sign me up? I don't know."
Yeah, I have no idea. I typically do not sign you up for things.
Michelle K is going to be a Frosty as well. So, hey, Frumpa, are you coming out to Frosty? What's going on there?
You might come out and hang out.
Yeah,
What day is Frosty again?
I don't remember.
the 17th, I
I
think.
believe so.
Of December.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
All right, so that's a Sunday.
Yeah,
It is
but
December
it's only
17th.
8 hours, so you'd be done early.
Holiday Hustle 5K.
Mm.
Ah, gotcha.
And the Celtic Solstice is so we have back-to-back
We
races.
literally just said that. Are we having this conversation again? Like,
So the
what?
so Celtic
Am I taking
Solstice,
crazy pills?
But
Did
hold
we
on.
not just say that all of this?
we have back-to-back races. So the Celtic Solstice 5 miler is on the 16th. And then the very next day, we have the Holiday Hustle 5K.
Oh my god!
What is happening?
Guys, look,
You're gonna make me snort in a second. I'm gonna end up
But like,
snorting.
what? You just missed that whole.
I don't understand what just happened. My point was that last time we had this conversation on the last episode, you still said, I don't know if I'm actually signed up for these races. So let me look at my calendar and I will let you know. And then you texted a couple of days later and asked again which day it was and said that you didn't think you were signed up for it. So you were still considering coming up.
This is all what living with Tom is in a nutshell. Like, it's just like he remembers, but doesn't at the same
it's
time.
fantastic. I am enjoying this very much so.
And I thought instead of looking at the calendar, he was looking at his email, like I just did, to see his
he signed
registration.
up. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need
that's
Greg
smarter.
to troll Tom right now.
Oh.
Greg, I'm calling on you right now. Bringing in the big guns.
so on that Saturday, we have the Celtic Solstice 5.
Which I also don't know if he signed up for.
Oh god. All right. Yeah. We also got to look at our
Hey.
calendar. We didn't do
Yeah.
it at the beginning of the episode. I plan to kind of talk about it at the beginning of this episode for some housekeeping. We will be taking off some time for the holidays. Michael and I are headed to Dublin at some point. And then December is usually kind of sporadic. We do like an end of year episode, but we'll have some time off in between there. So just so you're aware, November and December, you might hear from us a little bit less. I think we'll at least take 2 full weeks off.
And honestly, at the state we're in right now, with what just happened, I don't blame you for needing a break.
Look, it's fine. 2023, without getting into it, because I could talk for like 5 hours about it, but 2023 has been a hard year. So we definitely want to enjoy the holidays and chill out a little bit. But that's not to say we don't love this community.
Yes, and start thinking about what goals you guys set at the beginning of the year. I know we still have a few more marathons coming up in the next few weeks, but start thinking about what you want to contribute for our listener-centric episodes. That's likely what we're going to do. Instead of taking completely off, we'll probably do another kind of listener episode where you guys can send in some voice memos.
Yes.
Tell us what your goals were for the year, how you guys did with
we
them.
have the end of year goal getters. Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's already the end of October, so you have about a month and a half left before we'd be asking for that. So start thinking about that.
It's we're almost in November.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing this up.
It's unbelievable.
We'll do a quick set of Inside the Runner Studios, because I think we only have one more episode left. So we'll do another quick round of them to help fill us in a little bit. So if you are interested,
I'm looking at you, Chris.
in doing which Chris? We have 2 Chris's. We actually we've named a few.
We need all of Chris's. Let's do a series of
all Chris is for Christmas. We need one more Chris.
Oh, Chris is for Christmas.
12 Chris's of Christmas.
If your name is Chris and you listen to this podcast,
Get
make
up
sure
here.
to
Yeah.
or any version of Chris. You could be a Christine, a Christina.
Yes, we just need a Chris.
We just need some Chris's.
Yes.
And if it will sweeten the pot, I'll take this one to brunch before. So
Hey,
Whoa.
don't threaten me with a good time.
But also for real, if your name isn't Chris and you're interested, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, really. Do we want to wrap up with something good?
Sure.
I'll
Go
go
ahead.
first.
Does it involve a 90s band?
It does.
I can read it.
The new Blink 182 album came out, and it's very similar to all of the other Blink 182 albums. You might not even notice.
And every album that Travis Barker has produced in the last 5 years for every
ever
TikTok kid.
It's very, very consistent, but it's broken up the behemoth of my Taylor Swift listening, so it's a nice change. They're fast tempo songs, and I've added a bunch to my running playlist. So I just like new music, even if it sounds like old music. I like new music.
Cool. Well, I am excited that F Boy Island is back.
It's moved channels.
Amazing.
It's moved channels. It used to be on HBO
Yeah.
Max. Now it is on the CW.
So we watch
So
it
it's
on
not
Hulu.
Quite as raunchy.
Nikki Glazer, the best dating show
host,
reality show host.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Just the best. She is just the best.
Yeah.
Perfect tone. Just the best.
She was just on was she on Kelly Clarkson's show, and she said she paid $25,000 to see Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. She went to the Eras tour like 9 times
Holy
or something.
cow. Good for her.
Wow.
It's that F Boy Island money, I guess.
Yeah, right? It's doing well.
It's just a bonker show.
It's hilariously silly. And
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It's not like, I don't know, like The Bachelor tries to be serious.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't really try to be serious.
We love our
yeah.
trash TV.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Oh,
Yeah.
Bake Off is back too.
Yes,
That could have
British
been my
Bake Off is
something-
back.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bake Off. It's not my something good, however. My something good is actually that I will be in New York City for the New York City Marathon weekend. I will be dressed as a giant piñata with Snarky Snacker and Marcia. We'll be 3 giant piñatas. Our friend Jen is also joining our crew. Miles and Crowns, Amy may also be joining our crew. We will have some blow up bats that you can hit us with, and we will throw candy at you because we are giant piñatas. We'll have signs that say candy from strangers, and we'll have signs that say a sign that says hit me with your best shot, and then you can hit us with our bats.
That's really
and we
fun.
will spew candy at you because that's what piñatas do, in case you were wondering.
That's true. That's true.
They are very colorful, very dangly. Like they're the most ridiculous costumes. It would be hard to miss us on course. I will, the week before we are going up there, put onto our stories and my personal stories where we plan to be on course. I did talk to Michelle Kay a little bit about moving around New York for the New York Marathon and a couple other people who have cheered before. So our plan will be to be somewhere in Brooklyn and then try and get over to First Ave and then be before Columbus Circle as you're going towards the finish line. Is sort of our tentative plan.
Very nice. Are you going to do a people on the street situation?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that'd be a good way to fill in. We can do a snark on the street.
Yeah, snark on the street.
Okay. You heard it here first. We've been requested to do a snark on the street.
Look at us making content in the moment. I don't know. I didn't plan us something good. All we've been doing is watching the same Halloween movies we watch every year. We are. Oh, you know what I can give a shout out to is Lost Ark Distilling. We never go there. We went there right when it first opened and hadn't really been back. And we went on Sunday and had some drinks, and it was a great vibe. And they had fantastic drinks, and yeah. Be back now that I realize that I do not have to do just tastings of rum and other alcohol. I need it mixed.
Yep.
Because I'm a
need
lady.
a mixed drink.
I
She
need a
is
mixed
a lady.
drink. So yeah, that was really good. And yeah, if you're in Maryland, check them out.
So I'm going to wrap us up with a quote. And it's a little bit different this time because I was listening to, so we're recording this on a Monday, and today we released it inside the Runner Studio with our friend Violet. And I always listen. I love the Inside the Runner Studios. I love everybody who's been on one of those. Shout out to all of the folks that have participated so far. But Violet ended her episode with a quote. And again, 2023 has been a hard year. And so I heard this quote and I was like, I'm using that quote to close out the show when we record this week. So this is attributed to our friend Violet, who Diana's still trying to slide into them DMs. Violet said, Don't save things for a special occasion, because life is a special occasion. And I really like that quote. So shout out to Violet. Shout out to all of our listeners. Thank you for supporting our show. And we will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.